Can you tell us a little about your character in this movie?
Sure. So I play, my character's name is Swati. She sounds on its own a very, what's the word? I mean, it's a very Telugu sort of a very, okay, I'm finding it difficult to put it together, but it's very organic, you know, the name on its own. It's not this, I asked Anand, in fact, I asked him, I said, why did something strike you to write this name? So he said, no, actually, it just came to me. But it's very authentic in its own way. She sounds very girl next door already. So that's the character. She's a very independent girl, and she follows her heart at the end of the day. So whatever it does, whatever it takes to do that. And she's very spontaneous with what's happening to her in her life, and she's not afraid to take a stand, which is the more interesting part of her character. It's something that I've really admired. Like, if I met a woman who actually thought and did things and lived her life the way Swati does, I would be very inspired, because there's a softness to her, but then if you get into a darker shade, you know, it's so much more intense. And then you realize, okay, this woman is actually paying attention to everything that's happening around her. So in a nutshell, this is who I play.
How different is it from your real life character?
Not so different, actually. Not so different.
What are the
very scary? Well, a lot of things. Like I said, you know, she is very soft spoken. That for one. She responds not over the top. It's not like ha. It's not like the best moments in her life are expressed with a smile, and that's where it is. You know, there's no crazy energy, you know, it's very contained. So that's one similarity, and the fact that she can bounce back in her worst of situations, or in the weakest of situations, is also something that I relate to, and I believe, you know, I kind of find that way even for myself outside the camera, which is why it was very interesting playing her.
Have you heard about this concept before the movie?
I've heard of this concept. My co-stars are very stunned when I say that I've heard about parallel lives. But yeah, it has been a part of our history since, you know, 1800, and there are established lives that have gone through this. Of course, it didn't occur to me as we do our daily life regimes. We don't think of parallel lives as a thing. Yeah. But when Anand narrated this story to me, it just made sense, and then it makes sense in a lot of other ways. You know, see, there are films that you write which kind of entertain you. That's one aspect. There are films that actually that share a message to you, you know, and you take back something of it. You take back a thought, or you're informed of something. I think this script comes in the latter, you know. So even though you may have heard of parallel lives, like, or for instance, some people may not even have heard of that concept, will now go back home rethinking of their lives, you know, and if I'm doing something, and if there's actually another who's going through similar experiences, and when is it before, is it after? So there will be that thought. People who watch this film, it might even become a joke, you know, within friends, which has already started. I think there are things that I do, and people, just because they know I'm a part of the film, they say, oh, parallel lives is happening. But it's a very beautiful eye-opener, I believe. Yeah.